The investigation seems simple enough.
All I'm interested in is a case of assault and stopping any more.
But it's about to take a turn for the worse.
There's been an assault on 2 of the boys from Southern Mail.
And the law proves helpless.
How much more evidence do you need?
Thursday reprisals at 8 on ITV. The Bill.
Next, the ITN News headlines. And then Gary Crowley will present music from the current bands Sensor, Terrorvision, Helmet and the Reverend Horton Heat. All in the beat after the break.
What's it today, Mr. Latham?
Economic advisor to the UN.
Sir, this is Dr. Ledlow.
You driver, take the lumber job up the limo to the bumpy humble.
You must be Richard Latham.
Yes.
Hey, I'll take that.
I don't think so. Crime is rife in the city, Dr. Lovely.
So, how to outwit the thieves. Boff, you go to the airport. I'll stay here and guard the shopping.
Outside the door.
Outside the door of the wardrobe, yes. In case they come through the window.
On the 33rd floor, sir.
Oh, yes.
I'm going to have a lie down.
Ah, this is the place. So, you'll be lying here, the shopping will be here, the best place for me, I think, is here. Good.
Didn't you buy these on your Barclay card?
Yes.
Well,
they're automatically insured.
Sir? The shopping's covered, sir.
Thank you, Barclay card!
Loss of dignity. Despair. Desperate acts born from frustration. And ultimately, extinction. The cause, a cunning new widget in a can of Worthingtons, making chilling it a thing of the past. Unfortunately, perfect bitter at the perfect temperature looks like making fridges a thing of the past, too. So you don't need to fridge it with Worthington's widget.
Right, well, time once more for our odd man out round. Panel, the sore thumb, please. We have Keith Harris and Orville, a Queen Anne chair, red rum, and a box of matchmakers.
Easy. They've all got 4 feet except the matchmakers, which have around 11 feet of crispy, knobbly chocolate in every box.
Right answer, wrong reason. Matchmakers have a splendid new box. The others have looked the same for years.
Oh,
Sorry.
Lovelink, the ideal way to meet a new partner. Dial 0891 555 666 now.
Vaseline Intensive Care Research have developed a 2-in-1 hand and nail lotion which softens your hands and helps keep your nails this strong.
Organics, the only shampoo with glucosyl, a natural nutrient which nourishes the life source of hair, the roots. Organics strengthens hair, giving life and body. So hair looks radiant with health and beauty. Organics from the Elida Hair Institute, the first ever root nourishing shampoo.
Look at those hunks! They're so big! And so tasty. Just look at all that prime white cod fillet.
New from Birdseye. Chunky cod steaks. The hunkiest fish around.
Well, now nighttime, just before the beat, we go over to ITN for the news headlines with Dennis Toohey.
Nearly 1,000 survivors from the fire on the cruise liner Achille Lauro will again take to life rafts in the Indian Ocean at first light. They will be transferred from 2 oil tankers to rescue ships which have been summoned to the area off Somalia. They were plucked to safety after the fire turned the Italian-owned Achille Lauro into an inferno. 2 elderly passengers, a Briton and a German, died. The Achille Lauro was last in the news in 1985 when it was hijacked by Palestinian terrorists. Despite all the rumour and speculation about stalking horses over the last few days, there were no challenges to John Major's leadership of the Conservative Party when nominations closed. But ministers must convince the rebels to back the government next Tuesday over the second stage increase in VAT on heating bills. There was a smile on John Major's face at an award ceremony where one of the winners was a company called TNT.
It occurred to me that I could perhaps have used some TNT a little earlier this week.
In Sarajevo, the UN Secretary-General Dr. Boutros Ghali warned that UN peacekeepers might be pulled out of Bosnia if the warring factions continue to refuse to negotiate a ceasefire. During his visit, he was jeered by Muslim protesters and snubbed by Serb leaders. That's it. I'll have more news later.
In an hour, Rod Stewart and Bob Dylan are all featured in the album show. That's right after The Beat.
We interrupt this broadcast.
This is an egg.
Stronger.
Teaserama is an...
Damn, friends.
Hot diggity.
Get into the beat with Red Stripe.
Dim those lights, make yourself cozy-wozy. It's time for your weekly appointment with The Beat. Now, pot picking is a fast and furious business these days. Some wag once wrote about the rise of four lads from Liverpool. And here we are in 1994, over 30 years later, and nothing's changed. Now, on The Beat, we attempt to bring to the screen the indispensable music guide for the discerning viewer. We've got the Stone Roses tonight showing us their home movies. The Reverend Horton Heat deliver a nighttime sermon. MC Solar keeps us warm with his solar power. Now, who lives in a house like this? I pay a visit to Reef Mansions. We mark the 7th World AIDS Day by reviewing the movie To Die For and give you 3 of the best from the Red Hot and Cool Stolen Moments album. Levi's, the ultimate leg wear, have been interwoven with youth and rock and roll ever since the 1950s. Now, the Levi Strauss empire has certainly come a long way from one immigrant gold prospector in California who first started making denim work trousers over 120 years ago. Now, tonight on The Beat, we're paying a visit to their latest flagship store here in London's West End, a 20,000 square foot den of denim. No doubt status quo's idea of heaven. Now, talking of denim, I always thought that flares had been confined to the bargain bin of fashion history. Not so. Our first guest and the Manchester scene that followed it breathed a new lease of life up its trouser leg. The Stone Roses are back with a lick from Hendrix and a wink from Zeppelin. The second coming commences with Love Spreads.